Hey guys, I want to share with you how I provide empathy for myself and how I see that empathy and detachment are actually compatible with one another. And this comes from my own experience having suffered severe social anxiety, and I needed to provide a sense of empathy for myself. I find that having a sense of detachment is just as useful as well. And this also comes from my experience as a psychotherapist, providing empathy and compassion for my clients. And I realized the skills I have as a psychotherapist in order to provide empathy and compassion for my clients are the same skills that I could use on myself. I could provide that sense of empathy and compassion. And a way that a psychotherapist does provide empathy and compassion is by having that sense of detachment. The therapist provides space for their client to be able to express their story, to be able to express their emotion, their anger and upset. And the therapist allows the client to be able to fully express themselves without that sense of judgment. And that's where that detachment comes in. Not having that sense of judgment and holding space, not getting caught up in that client's story, in that client's emotion, because then the therapist won't be any help if they're merging with the client. And the same thing comes to providing empathy for ourselves, that there's a part of us that is caught up in the story, caught up in emotions, but then there's a part of us that could be our own counselor and hold space for ourselves and be non-judgmental about that experience and have that compassion, empathy for that experience. So a common misunderstanding that people have with detachment is that it's about having no feelings. Having no feelings means having no compassion and having no empathy. But that cannot be further from the truth. When we see detachment as stifling our emotions, that is not healthy for us. It's not allowing us to be in tune with our own human experience. And our emotions can sense that when we're not in tune with our own experience. And that's why they call out louder and louder and tell you, please listen to me and your own story. When you try to avoid and ignore your own story and you play it down, that it's not important, then it's going to start calling out to you. And actually, when you can provide space for your own emotions and your own story, that's when you start to find greater sense of peace. And I'm going to share with you analogy that people find helpful, that my clients find helpful. Imagine that you're an actor in the TV and you're experiencing a drama that is going on. And that actor is filled with emotion, filled with upset and sadness about what is going on. And what's going on is your life story and the struggle that you're going through. And you're having an emotional experience as an actor that if you're a good actor, you can really convey that experience. Now imagine you take a step back and you're watching that TV set and you're on a couch watching this actor who is you on TV. And I want you to imagine that you are standing across from the room watching yourself, watching yourself on a couch watch that actor, you, on TV. Now, if you're watching yourself, watch yourself. That perspective is that detached perspective. And it would make sense if that person on the couch is responding to what's on the TV, that they're moved by the story, that they're absorbed in that story, engaged in that story. And they're sad when the actor is sad. They're angry when the actor is angry. If it's a good movie, then of course that would be the case, right? If that person on the couch was really stiff and trying to not have any emotions about what's going on, that would be a really unnatural experience. So you being that person standing across from what the you on the couch watching yourself on TV, you would have that empathy and compassion. It's like, of course that makes sense that this person would be responding to this movie in such a way. That's you holding space for yourself, holding space for your story. And when you do that, you can really come to an understanding of where you are coming from. And when you can understand where you're coming from, you can really assess the bigger picture outside of your own story. But it's important to validate your own experience first. So I found this helpful for me because when I had really severe social anxiety, I could really experience myself when I'm in a social experience, needing to talk with somebody, that my face would tense up, that I would start to shake. And I remember telling myself, I should be able to take this. I should not be shaking. I should not be stiff. You know, why am I upset about this? Why am I upset about my social anxiety? I should know that I have social anxiety and be able to just talk with this person, be confident. But the more I do this, the harder it is. I start to shake more. I start to be tenser. So when I could accept and be that person, kind of removing myself from my experience and being able to witness myself having this emotion that I am really scared and in this social situation and I am trembling and I wish I could do better, and really empathize with my experience, I actually could see the picture clearer. And I could actually, from that space, I could actually be able to help myself develop skills in terms of my own social ability. But it comes with empathy first, and compassion and non-judgment and accepting my experience. So I hope this has been helpful to you. Thank you so much for watching.